Hi, I'm Larry Dapsis. I'm the entomologist with Cape Cod Cooperative Extension, and in this segment we're going to talk about repellents as a first-line defense against tick bites. There's another segment we did on repellents that are used to treat clothing and footwear with an active that contains permethrin, but in this segment we're going to focus on repellents that we apply to our skin. All right, repellents come in a couple different flavors. We've got a group of actives up here, DEET and some of the alternatives to DEET. And then we have a whole family of products that are in the all-natural category. There's a big distinction between these two groups. This group up top here, those are EPA registered, meaning that if it has a label claim repels tick bites for 6 hours, there are data on file at EPA to support that. And the all-natural products, they're EPA registration exempt, and we'll get into some more details about those later. All right, finding the right repellent. There are so many products on shelf, it can be pretty challenging to kind of pick out, what's going to work best for you. Well, EPA came up with a selection guide. Okay, so you go to this website and you go to their homepage, and it's basically a menu of characteristics of what you want in your repellent. So for this one, I'm looking for a repellent that's going to repel ticks for 5 to 8 hours. And I want to focus just on ticks. So you can pick one for ticks, one for mosquitoes, or ticks and mosquitoes. Active ingredient. Maybe I've heard something negative about DEET as an active, and so I'm picking picaridin as a DEET alternative. Manufacturer, I don't care who makes it. So we pull up 6 different products that meet those selection criteria. They're all made by Cutters, so it's a matter of just finding, what's available in stores nearby you. All right, DEET. There are a ton of different product formulations out there on the shelf, and when I talk to a lot of people about DEET, a lot of people say, Larry, I've heard it's carcinogenic, it can hurt my children, it can permanently damage your nervous system. What's the deal on this? And where I point people to is, don't go out and try and learn about this stuff on social media, because it's just the facts aren't out there. But there's an excellent resource, the National Pesticide Information Center. This is a collaboration between the EPA and Oregon State University, and the objective here is to provide a repository for objective, science-based evidence that people can now look through and really find out what the facts are. So you go to their homepage on this site, and we're looking at repellents. So if we zero in on DEET, here we have a series of questions that typically people may ask. Is it carcinogenic? Does it have more of an impact on children? What about the environment? What happens to it when it enters my body? And if you scroll down through those, there are to-the-point factual answers to all those questions. So it's a great resource. All right, so we do have alternatives to DEET. Picaridin, IR3535, oil of lemon eucalyptus. These are all synthetic products, okay? So even the oil of lemon eucalyptus, even though you can derive that oil from the eucalyptus plant, this is a synthetic version. So they are required to be registered by EPA. These can be a little bit confusing. And what I did was I developed a fact sheet on a guide to tick repellents, and you can find this guide on our website. So again, short and to the point factual answers on what these products are all about. All right, the all naturals. There are a slew of these products on the market, and a lot of them have product names that kind of, gravitate or influence parents' selection. So Baby Gonix, Herbal Armor, a number of things. DEET free. We already talked about the tox profile of DEET. Actually squeaky clean, but they play to people's perceived fears on these things, which is unfortunate. Now, not being EPA registered means they do not have to provide any data to show they work at all. So you might see some products with labels, claims, repels for insects for 4 hours. Not all of them call out ticks as one of the things they repel. And those criteria that they're putting out there, you don't know how those claims were arrived at. They're not following EPA protocols like you would with an EPA registered product. I came across one product that had a claim boasting that it was scientifically proven to be the best repellent on the market. They cited a prestigious university and a leading researcher, and I happen to know the researcher. So I contacted him and said, hey, did your research program take a big departure and start working on tick repellents? Well, no, he's still a biochemist and had nothing to do with that label claim. So lesson here is let the buyer beware. So here's my contact information. I look forward to either speaking with you or communicating you through email. And we'd like to thank Cape Cod Healthcare for their generous financial support of this project.